Basically, in this one, we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to be teaching you guys where to mix two songs into each other. So basically, at what point and at what points of the track do you want to start mixing in your second one? And this applies for house music, and a lot of EDM music actually in general, which if you learn the basics, you can apply this to tracks that not only have 32 bar intros, but 64 bar intros, other genres even. So this is basically the fundamental knowledge that you have to know when you're DJing these house tracks. So in this specific case, I'm going to be using bass house tracks, both at 126 BPM. But let's start looking at the structures of the track. Basically, what we have here is two tracks. We're not going to be paying attention to this one at the bottom, just the top one. So this one has a typical intro to a track. It's 32 bars long, so 30 seconds. And it has the beat coming in and then a little bit more elements of the track coming in until it goes into the break of the track. Then the break goes into an extended break. Sometimes it's just 16 bars, and now it's 32. And then the build-up is usually standard 16 bar build-up, and then the 4 bar fill, and then it goes into a 32 bar drop. Sometimes it goes just a little bit more, double. That really depends on the track. So at what points should we mix in another track? We're just going to keep it simple and say that we're using the intro of this track. We're going to be using the intro of this track to mix into the drop of this one. So this one is also a standard 32 bar intro. So this fits perfectly with our track. Now, at what 2 points should I mix this in? So if I want to just have a 32 bar drop and then straight into another break, then I'll mix it in right at the first beat of the drop, so here. And now, as you can see, they're perfectly aligned. So in my headphones, I'm gonna align them, and then cut the lows, obviously, and then bring it in. So now both tracks are playing, and then I can start to bring up the build up, or the bass of this one. And so now, after that transition, I'm into it's the build-up, so this track actually goes straight into the build-up, but usually goes into a break, and so that would be a clean transition into the break of my second track. Then I can go into the build-up, into the drop again. But let's say, for example, we have a track that has a little bit longer of an outro. So let's say it's not only 16 bars now, but 24, I guess. Yeah, 24 bar drop. So that means there's an extra little patch at the end of the 32 bars. And so what I can do here is actually mix it into either the beginning of the drop or 8 bars in after the fill. So now my drop is going to continue to play, but now I have a second track coming in. And this way I can work it in if I want to. And then it goes into the break / build-up of the second track. So in this case, I can either mix it in on the very first beat of the drop, or I can mix it in 8 bars in. So no idea what beat that would be in regards to the one, but basically it's the start of the next section. These are the two most common points that you're going to be mixing tracks in, but if you want to try something different, like doing a drop mix, then you would basically mix it in right at the beginning of the 16 bar build-up of the first track. So this point right here where it changes into a little bit more of a snare roll signifies the starting of our build up. So you can pretty much group these into little units and sections of the track. So this one has a little bit of an uncommon, what would this technically be, like 12 bar intro, but it still has the standard 16 bar build up. So this is the point where I'd want to start mixing in my my second track. So let's quickly show that. Now I'd mix it in, and they're both aligned, and the build-ups, or sorry, the drops play at the same time. And then I can just put one down and have whichever drop playing. So in this case, my second track. And then later on, what I can do is I can go from the build-up of this track and beat match the build-ups, and then jump back into my other track. So there's like some cool little tricks like that. So if you want to drop mix, you mix at the beginning of the build-ups. If you want to mix it in after the drop, you either hit it on the first beat of the drop or 8 bars in. Sometimes if it's a 64 bar drop, then you can mix it in at 32. So just know that you have to have 32 bars before the end of your drop. So if there's only 32 bars, you got to mix it in right away. If they got 24, then you can mix it in either there or there. Or if it stretches to 64, 32 bar intro, or no, sorry, if it goes from 32 to 42 to 64, I think. No, question mark. That's not the right math. But anyways, so the more of the drop there is, the more points you have to mix in your intro of that second track. So yeah, those are pretty much the positions and the basics of where you mix in your different house music. I won't get into the more specific and more complicated ones in this video, but I can do them in a later video if you guys like. But anyways, hope you guys liked this video. Hope to help you out. Let me know what other kind of tutorials you guys want to see on this channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.